Tezuka-san, thank you for coming.
Pleasure's all mine.
So this is Iwata Asks New Super Mario Bros. U. And I'd like to talk about this new Super Mario Bros. Game, which was just officially announced for Wii U.
Okay,
First, the name changed from last year, didn't it?
that's right. You see, before making this game, we gained a lot of support for the multiplayer feature thanks to the previous title, New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
So this long-standing challenge of having a 4-player Mario experience on one screen, which you've worked on for roughly 20 years, you were at long last able to meet on Wii.
At long last. And this time, we are thinking of ways to improve the multiplayer experience, and we adopted as, one theme, something Miyamoto-san asked, which was, can't you have more characters? And, more than just adding characters, as this is a Nintendo game, we discussed using Mii characters. We talked about things like, how would it be adding Mii characters to a Mario experience?
That's because until now, Mii characters have not lived in the Mario universe.
That's right. But let's say it's your Mii appearing on the screen, and you're playing with your mom, dad, your grandpa, grandma, or whoever.
Yes, I see. 4 players is great, but it can be hard to tell who's who. Well, it's easier to tell who's Mario, but as you go along, it becomes more difficult. And you have people saying, who am I again? And who just got in my way? Now it's much easier to keep track of that.
Later on, as we continued working on the game, the name of the console was finalized as Wii U, and when we were thinking of what to call this first title,
It's a launch title.
we felt it would be fitting to add the word U to this Mario, so we asked to change the name of the game.
Oh, I see. So you're offering New Super Mario Bros. U as something you want people to enjoy when it launches with the console.
Yes, that's right.
So the multiplayer feature, which people enjoyed in Mario games now, includes Mii characters. It's something I think people were able to see coming. How about things people won't be expecting? Things they wouldn't know from last year's showing?
Well, with Wii U, we have the Wii U gamepad.
The controller with a screen.
Right. And the screen isn't simply another monitor, but rather something you use to create a fresh experience and something to have fun with. We thought, we should use this with the next Mario. That is to say, we wanted to use it. What comes to mind first is to use it for competitive play. In New Super Mario Bros., we originally thought of the multiplayer feature as being competitive play. This time, however, it's more in the vein of assist play.
It's not competitive versus play.
Right. We thought we could use the new controller screen as a way to, help players.
How do you help players?
Mario games are kind of like obstacle courses. You jump around and fall in holes, things like that.
You move forward trying not to fall into holes.
That's the basic gameplay. But on this screen, a block will appear when the person using the screen taps it.
A platform appears. So you can make a platform when the other player wants one, or when someone's about to fall, you make a platform to save them.
Right. Also, enemies and other things on screen will react when you tap them, too.
What do you mean by react?
Well, like enemies momentarily freezing.
Oh, so you help by blocking enemies.
It's a very simple thing, but as you play those things, really stand out and feel fun. And, before you know it, people are, yelling and having just a great time.
So this gameplay allows one person to help another, but does it allow you to help up to 4 other players too?
Yes, that's right, it does.
So now it's 5 players.
Up to 5 people can play.
By the way, it seems like we've been making a new Super Mario Bros. Game title about every 3 years. But let me dare to ask, don't you ever run out of ideas?
You know, we haven't changed the core essential part of the game.
The parts that doesn't change really do not change, do they? All you do is move left to right and get the flag. Similar things appear every time. Mario beats Bowser, and Princess Peach gets kidnapped. Every time.
Yeah, even as we're working on the game, you know, we say to ourselves, are we sure this is the way to go? Even so, you know, we don't change it. We can't change it. It's because we know those parts were fun, and it's because we remember it.
Well, I guess it's a balance between worrying about what's simply repetitive and knowing which elements are fundamental Mario elements that can't be changed. How do you maintain that balance?
Well, you know, you see, even with Mario controls, it seems like they've never changed, but they have changed.
Well, the way Mario glides and jumps each time is actually quite different.
Well, they are different. You know, if you compare them, it's quite clear. We make our decisions based on what feels best each time at that moment in that game.
So the team working on the games decide on what feels best to them at that moment, and that keeps changing.
Sure does. You know, like the speed of a game, the amount of jumping. You know, we don't change it a lot, but it does change. You know, there's that. And there's also what actions Mario takes that make you afraid, or, you know, how it's scary if you run into an enemy. So we developed the game so emotions like that are what you experienced most clearly.
Today, I asked you about New Super Mario Bros. U, which will go on sale at the same time as the Wii U hardware. To wrap up, would you, as the developer of the game, please say a few words to our viewers?
Well, Mario games, you know, particularly 2D side-scrolling Mario games, have changed little by little over the years. And when we're making these games, we're always thinking of how to get as many people playing as possible, and how to make the games accessible. Of course, this is true for 3D Mario games too, as they are one of the 2 pillars of Mario games. So, if you're playing now, and you get married, and you have kids, and then your kids have kids, and they have kids,
You have succeeded in making gameplay that gets passed on from generation to generation.
yeah, we will be really happy if people continue playing Mario, you know, for a really long time, and we try to make games to make that happen.
Thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much.